Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, original, chapter number 4, text number 2 and 3. Evam parambara praptam imam rajarashayo vidu sakhalena mahada yoganashto paramtava. Paramtava means conqueror of all enemies. Krishna is addressing Arjuna. Evam parambara praptam. This Bhagavad Gita science, which links God with jivas. That is all about Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita speaks about 5 subjects. First is God. Second is we living entities. Third, the living entities accommodation, the universe called material nature. Fourth is time, which makes everything flow nicely. Then ultimately karma. Out of these 5, 4 are eternal and one thing is temporary, which is karma. So God, living entities, material nature, which is the cosmic accommodation for all living entities, and time. All these things are eternal. So Krishna is talking these true signs, how the living entities have to re-establish the lost relationship with God. That is the sum total meaning of Bhagavad Gita. To establish our lost relationship with God. Krishna is giving various paths and we may choose one of them. Ultimately that path has to link with the Supreme. So it can be Karma Yoga, or it can be Jnana Yoga, it can be Dhyana Yoga, or it can be Bhakti Yoga. When Krishna is giving options, does not mean that Krishna is giving you the options to worship so many other imaginary gods and goddesses and material nature. No. He is telling worshipping Him, and within that worship there are some variegatedness. That is Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. So here Lord is actually telling Evam Parambara Praptam. This knowledge has to be accepted from the disciplic succession. You cannot become a self-made guru. You must have a guru and served him in your brahmachari life, in your household life, in your vanaprastha life, in your sannyasa life. So guru has to be there. You cannot whatsoever teach people when you don't yourself follow that particular direction given by God. So here, Parambara Praptam, like our Hare Krishna society, we are from Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Lord Krishna gave the knowledge to Lord Brahma, then Lord Brahma gave to Narada Muni, Narada Muni gave to Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva gave to Madhavacharya, and Madhavacharya, there were so many other gurus in that disciplic succession. Then comes is Madhavendra Puri, then Ishvara Puri, then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. Then we can see our spiritual masters, our grand spiritual masters. In that way, the Parambara actually comes. And this knowledge will be very effective when you take the teachings from the Parambara system. There are so many people speaking about Krishna, Vishnu, but unless we receive the knowledge from the disciplic succession, it will not be effective. In the Padma Purana, it also says, Sampradaye vihinaye mandraste nishphalamadaha. That means if you do not accept the mantra that was given by a spiritual master who is coming in the disciplic succession, Sampradaya, Vihinaye, if he is not in that Parambara system, mandraste nishpalamadaha, the chanting of that mantra will have no effect. You may have, because of your political reasons, so much money and big firm and many volunteers working for you. Maybe your discussions were heard by many millions of people. You may have in YouTube hundreds and thousands and millions of followers. Just because you are not coming from the Parambara system, your teachings will be practically futile. And it does not give any guarantee or warranty that you will attain eternal life. So, there are two types of knowledge. One is deductive knowledge, the other one is inductive knowledge. The inductive knowledge is from the ground goes upward, and deductive knowledge from top, it actually comes down. So the knowledge that is coming from top to down, it is called disciplic succession. It is called the knowledge given by the authorities. If the knowledge is not given by the authorities, then that knowledge is inductive knowledge, speculative knowledge. When we speak about the authority, we have the authoritative scriptures, we have the authorities coming down in disciplic succession. All these knowledges are called deductive knowledge. Just like a person who is standing on the top of a mango tree and picking the mangoes and giving that mango to another person who is sitting on another branch, and that person gives the guy who is sitting in another branch, and eventually the person who is standing on the ground, he receives that mango. So the mango was there on top of the tree, and it's all the way actually came down, and he got the same mango. Likewise, we receive the same knowledge that Krishna spoke to Lord Brahma, or recently Krishna spoke to Vivaswan, or more recently to Arjuna. We got the same knowledge through the disciplic succession. So therefore, it will have effect. What is that effect? Following the four regulative principles and strictly adopting the principles of devotional service and follow the instructions of the Supreme God. So, if you do that, which is called Sanatana Dharma, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and they all stick with their area of work, and ultimately they worship the Supreme Lord and get out of this material world and material notions of life or concept of life. So this is called disciplic succession. So when evam parambara praptam, I have given this knowledge to all the Raja Rishis. Raja Rishis are, as we mentioned in the previous verse, are the kings. On the other hand, the inductive knowledge is given by these modern theologians, philosophers, scientists, without referring to the scriptures. They have some idea about God and they speak on logic and hypothetical manner or by argument. They try to establish that impersonal idea. That way, there are so many leaders who divert the people's attention from religiosity or spirituality. The most of the scientists do not believe in God. They explain God only to remove God from the creation, not to explain about His features and natures. So that is scientist, whether he's a molecular biologist or a biochemist or a quantum physicist. It could be anybody. Their goal is to destroy the existence of God. And even there is some pious members, they try to present God to the people with their inductive knowledge, not taking the authoritative knowledge. So that is inductive knowledge. This is deductive knowledge. Just like asking our parents about TV or refrigerator or a spoon or a fork or a book or table, chair, they will tell the name to the child. So the child actually gets that name from the parents. That is called authoritative knowledge. Without assuming, speculating, concocting, take the knowledge from the authorities. You save time. Everybody wants to save time. And that knowledge is called the knowledge coming from the disciplic succession. So true knowledge. So here Krishna is speaking to Arjuna that evam parambara praptam imam rajarshayo vidu sakalena mahada. Because of the influence of time, it was lost. Yoga nashta paramtava. The real knowledge was actually lost. Everyone wants to maintain their principles given by the forefathers. The dynasty should go on without changing anything. Most of the people, orthodox members, prefer that, so that their vamsha, the dynasty, will not be lost due course of time. So the same notion is there in the knowledge section also. That idea of maintaining that dynasty's principles not only exist in society or in social life, it also should exist in the authoritative knowledge. That is the understanding. We are not actually taking up that knowledge. On the other side, we are very strict with our family trees, principles of life, but we don't care for the knowledge. That is the defect of this planet, that they don't want to accept the authorities. Just like children, they don't listen to the parents once they become teenager and grown up. And till that time, they need some support. So they somehow or other are hanging there with the parents. Once they become little mature, then they start teaching their parents by their own cultivated knowledge from the external world. So the sun god Vivaswan got this knowledge from Lord Sri Krishna. And as we mentioned, the sun planet is like Earth planet, but on the Earth planet everything is made of earth, but in sun planet everything is made of fire. And that planet is very big, 1,400,000 times bigger than the Earth planet is the sun planet, that is 14 lakhs times. And it is situated far away, as we mentioned in the previous talk, 8 lakhs of miles away from Earth planet. We can actually see the longest route towards west is probably United States or Canada. If you go this side is what, Australia or something? Fiji, Australia. Probably the Earth planet is altogether maybe 25,000 miles or something, this way or that way, going around. But Sun planet is not like that, and Moon planet is not like that. They are all gigantic. And Vivaswan obtained this knowledge from the Supreme Lord directly. So the kings, they ruled according to the direction of Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures. And in the present time, the kings began to think that the nation is their property. They began to rule the nation whimsically because they thought it is their ancestral properties. So because such foolish kings begin to think without referring to the scriptures and serious about ruling the people, only trying to enjoy by occupying that kingly position, that mentality gave way to the democracy. Therefore, these democracies began to establish in all our planets. Otherwise, it was just king and few ministers who were all selfless because of their knowledge obtained from the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita. So they never had any attachment for those positions, but they were always ruling nicely to take care or benefit the citizens. Modern time, by hook or crook, even a Chandala come to the position by popular vote. And what he can teach? And to assist him, some IAS officers. They come to counsel these guys. There is no scripture at all. No matter how you actually try to bring peace and harmony in the world, it never happens. And it never happened. And it will not happen as long we are working whimsically and trying to do the patchwork without referring to the instructions of Godhead. Most of the politicians come to the power to make money. You can ask them. They do not come in the service mood. No. They want power, money, position, opulences to enjoy. So how the world will be improved? Impossible. The next verse is Saevayam mayathe adya yoga prokta puradana bhakto sime sakhachedi rahasyam hi yadat uttamam. Today I am giving you the same signs that I had spoken to Vivaswan to you. Mayathe adya. Mayathe means by me to you. Yoga prokta puradana, that ancient yoga, the relation with God, I am giving to you. Why? Bhaktosi me sakhachedi, because you are my devotee and friend. This is the two things that we need. Just like if you like to know how the country is ruled, different departments, it's best to become the friend of that minister or the prime minister. When you become friend and dear to him, he will disclose everything. When he feels that this person is normal and he's my friend now, I can trust him, then the prime minister can explain everything to him because he is his friend and devoted, ready to follow the prime minister. So here Krishna is saying, Bhaktosi me sakhachedi. Arjuna proved his devotion to the Supreme Lord not only one time, several times. But one of the times were when he visited Dwaraka to see Krishna, requesting Krishna to join his party, Pandava party. He sat by the side of the Lord's lotus feet, but Duryodhana was actually sitting by the head of the Lord. So many ways that he proved that he is a sincere devotee of the Lord. Sakha Chedi, he is the best friend of the Supreme Lord. Though he is the friend, but he also showed devotion, that inferior complexity must be there. The superior complexity on the material level will not attract the attention of the Supreme Lord. You need to show that inferior complexity even to the representative of God as well, in order to get the benediction, the blessings. The superior complexity is due to the pride that you are very important. It doesn't work in front of the Supreme Lord and his representatives. I am the Lord of everything that I survey. Doesn't work in front of these two personalities. Need to have the humble approach, which Arjuna had with Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is declaring now, Bhaktosi me sakha chedi. You are my devotee as well as my friend. Therefore, I am disclosing this most esoteric knowledge to you. Rahasyam hi yadat uttamam. The tama means darkness. Uttama means beyond darkness. This knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is Uttama knowledge, and it is most esoteric knowledge. I am revealing to you because these are your qualifications. So when you approach Guru or Krishna, give up all your material designations, that you are the president or prime minister or this director or that director. No. You need to have a humble approach. Then they will reveal the knowledge. Why? Because we are infinitesimal sparks of the Lord. So, in order to get our real identity revealed, we have to have a humble approach to the spiritual master. We lived our life in inaccuracies, illusions, deceptions, flawed senses. We never were flawless. So many deficiencies. So we need to have authoritative and flawless knowledge. If you do that, then see our advancement and how are we obtaining developed consciousness. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado yasya aprasada nagadi kudovi. If you make him happy, you get the mercy of the Supreme Lord. But if you displease him, then you will be lost. Nagadi kudovi. Where are you going? There won't be any idea about it. Simply because you displease the Supreme Lord and his representatives. None of our desires will be fulfilled, suspended, until it's not dismissed, suspended, until we comply to the injunctions of the Supreme Lord and his representatives. No mercy. You can try, you can go all over the universe to get your things fulfilled. Never happens. So that is what here. Bhaktosi me sakacheri rahasyam hi edat uttamam. I am revealing this truth to you because you are my devotee and you are my best friend. So let us take the knowledge from the disciplic tree, Krishna conscious tree, not your Ayyappa Swami, simply putting some black dress. Don't think that you are a high-fi spiritualist, especially in front of Vaishnavas. Control your superiority consciousness. People think that just by giving an apple or 2 bananas and 2 incense sticks to some gods, they become spiritual. Now they think they are equal with the representative of the Supreme Lord. So we need to fix. Better to be late than never. Now, Arjuna is going to ask a few questions about what Krishna has so far stated to him. So we will continue. Thank you. Hare Krishna.